Hey everybody, love the show. First question to Frankie. What was it about this show that you had to be a part of, especially since you've had such a great success not only on YouTube but in your comedy specials as well?
Oh man, I mean, I've been grateful for all my, small successes working the way up, but this is the thing that I've definitely been most excited about. And even touring with Chris has been, Chris Estrada has been working on this show with, and all the producers I've known for over 10 years, they're all come from the stand-up comedy world. And I saw Chris, we'd be on the road and he'd be the one like in the lobby on his laptop, go straight to his room after the show on his laptop. So he felt the energy, and then he'd run stuff by me, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope, So yeah, I would say it kind of felt organic, and it built up in this thing, and I saw it, over a 4-year process, and then it turned into this. And sometimes making a show like this is like catching lightning in a bottle, and then having Michelle and then Michael Imperioli step on and read it and be like, you know what, I'm into this. It's like, let's go, it's happening, man. It's beautiful. I can't wait for people to see it.
And Michelle, what was it like to step in as Maggie and to develop that character?
Oh my God. It was so awesome. I think I'm going to sound like a broken record today, but the most important thing for me was that Maggie es una rockera. She listens to punk, and I wanted to bring that punk attitude to this, female lead in this show that is, mostly it's Chris's story. So it is male centric. Yeah. So the most important thing was that punk attitude.
Yeah, and that's what I like, because growing up in East LA, that sometimes people forget that we grew up with that type of music as well.
That's what's so important to me, is that people don't see that, especially in LA, the Southwest, there's so much Latino goth, Latino rockero, rockabilly. There's all these alternative subcultures that we don't see represented on TV.
Exactly. And Michael, Minister Payne is right off the bat, you get a good feeling of what he's like. What is it like to play a character like that, to really step out of who you normally are on a daily basis?
Oh, I just loved Minister Payne. I think he's kind of nuts in some ways, but really passionate about what he's doing. And he'll beg, steal, threaten, do whatever, but it's not for him. It's for hugs, not thugs, which he really believes in. He's like kind of like a Robin Hood that way. And I love his kind of socialist, activist mentality and fighting the good fight, by whatever means necessary. I just love that spirit. I think, and it's the way they write him obviously is with that energy, but very very funny.
Yeah, and it was great to watch all of you on this show. The one thing I do want to ask is about representation. Being somebody who grew up in East LA, I never saw our area or myself really seen on any television shows, and now we're seeing that. How important is to show different locales, different stories in this world nowadays? And I could go for anybody who wants to take that question.
I think it's important to reflect the demographic, of course, but I think also what we have to remember is that in order to change the narrative and to see more stories like this, we have to write them ourselves. No one else, the studio can. I've already done the fair amount of pitching myself, and eventually it'll happen, but we have to do it ourselves, which means we kind of have to work twice as hard. Classic. But I think it's changing, and thank God. Sometimes it'll be a little cringe talking about diversity and stuff like that, but I think we're on the right path. So
Yeah. I would say for the most part, like, this show's very authentic, and even the producers that aren't from our background, they made it a point to make sure and run everything by us, to be like, hey, does this, instead of just, oh no, we need to get it done, get it out there. It was something that was on the priority list, and I think that's going to show, or it does show in the show. Yeah.
I think it's one of the reasons like The Sopranos was so successful, because it was written by somebody who grew up in that environment, acted by people who understood that world. So you're telling the story from the inside, and that's why. And it was shot where it took place, so people relate to that authenticity, and it comes through. And I think this fool does the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. We had Laura Patalano was in our studio, and she said, you got to keep an eye on this, make sure you're part of it, and we are. So thank you so much for stopping apart and talking about the show with us. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
thank you.